Hi, I'm Wendy Garrido. I help 6 and 7-figure business owners bring more authenticity and aliveness to every aspect of their life. And today I want to talk about the 3 questions happily married couples never ask, but should. This coming from someone who was married for 16 years, very happily, until I wanted something a little bit more than my husband was comfortable with. And it's been a journey since then. So, where am I compromising on myself in order to maintain this relationship? Most people are not asking these questions. And if they are, usually they're asking, like, where do I need to compromise in order to maintain this relationship? But my number one priority for myself and the people I work with is to focus on untangling the threads of codependence that are running inside of us. And one of the ways that we do that is by looking at, where am I compromising on what I truly want, on what truly matters to me, on what truly feels good to me? And it could be something small, like you're bored as fuck at a dinner party or when you're waiting for something because your partner goes off talking about whatever. Or it could be something much bigger, right? So where are you compromising on yourself in order to maintain this relationship? Now, a lot of times these are the questions that people ask when they're unhappy in their relationship, right? Like they've already been compromising and they're frustrated. But one of the things I've learned is that if you can do some of the things that people do when they're not happy in their relationships or when they're going through a divorce, and you can actually do those things earlier on, such as custody sharing, while you're still fucking married and together, it makes your life better and happier. So where are you compromising on yourself in order to maintain this relationship? Question number 2. Where am I disempowering my partner by believing that they are incapable of handling my truth? Again, this is not, it may not be something that's like hitting you in your face every day, right? You probably never even thought about it as disempowering your partner. But let's just hypothetically say that you wanted to do something that your partner was not on board with. Could be get involved in another relationship. It could be moving across the world to take a client position or a job position or something, right? Like there's so much client position, work with a client. But whatever it is, maybe it's you want to take a week off every month and have them take over co-parenting the kids. Where are you disempowering them by believing that they are incapable of handling your truth? Because what the reality is that by the time most relationships break up, that person has to find their way forward anyway. And we don't actually know what our partners are capable of until they don't even know what they're capable of until they get into the situation where they need to find out and where they get to define and create who they are. And if you can do that within the context of your relationship, it will make it better and stronger. So, for example, you might, let's say you think that your partner can't handle the kids by themselves for a week or a weekend, right? Let's just say years down the road or next year or 10 years down the road or whatever, you end up getting separated and divorced, right? The reality is that person will figure out what they're going to do with the kids during their time with the kids. And you won't have say over it. You won't be able to support them in it. They're going to have to figure it out. So even if you feel like they can't do it, or you're worried they're not going to do it in the way that you want them to, if that were to happen, you don't get to say how they're doing it then either. So instead, stop getting stuck in your disempowering story that they aren't capable of this, that they're going to be, I mean, for me, it was a big one. I was afraid that if I told my partner that I wanted to do something, that I was afraid that they would like potentially kill themselves. Like it was that, I knew that I was that important to them. But really, now that I think about it, as we were that codependent, that neither of us truly believed that they could survive without me. But they can, actually. They were alive and living long before you, maybe not as well. And they will survive without you, whether they're learning to do that within the relationship or outside of the relationship. I mean, surviving without you inside the relationship, like on a temporary basis, right? Like if you're gone for a week or something. So there's so many things that as a mom in a monogamous marriage where I felt like, well, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Like that's not allowed. There's things that I want or whatever, or they couldn't handle that. But one of my best things is nip it in the bud, because if you believe that right now and you get another 6 to 12 months or 5 years down the road, it's not going to be easier or better for anybody. It gets harder. So and this is, again, these are not questions to be asking yourself in order to create issues in your relationship. These are the questions to be asking yourself to avoid issues in your relationship down the road. Where am I disempowering my partner by believing they're incapable of handling my truth? And the last one, what feelings am I afraid to feel if my partner and I decided we wanted different things? We will do so much to avoid feeling those feelings. And because we don't want to feel those feelings, we will bend over backwards, we will compromise, we will make promises that don't feel good to us, we will give up on aspects of our own self because we so badly want to avoid those feelings. And if we take the time to sit and be with those feelings, again, before you fucking have to and are forced to, but if you can take that time now and go through and look at what are those feelings I'm afraid of? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to feel guilty. I'm afraid I'm going to feel alone. I'm going to there's so many things that it could be. Those fears are living inside of you right now, whether you're tuning into them every day or not. They are driving the decisions that you're making inside and outside of your relationship. They're impacting your business, because if you're compromising in your relationship, you cannot be the fullest, alivest, most vibrant version of yourself. And that is going to impact your business as well. So those are the 3 questions that happily married couples never ask, but should. Number 1, where am I compromising on myself in order to maintain this relationship? Number 2, where am I disempowering my partner by believing they are incapable of handling my truth? And number 3, what feelings am I afraid to feel if my partner and I decided we wanted different things? Okay, let me know what you think. I feel like it's a little bit taboo. Most people do not ask these questions when they're happily married. But to me, they are the key to staying happily married or staying true to yourself in such a way that this marriage or relationship can be a match for it, for as long as it is a match for it. And it also gives yourself and your partner the freedom and autonomy to be true to yourselves without having to compromise without having to give it all up. I think that's the part that just feels so tender to me. And it's a different way that I operate than most people. But I'm like, if this person is so important to me, how can I protect our connection and protect our relationship in the long term by taking care of myself and trusting them to take care of themselves in such a way that I can continue to love and support them from now and in the future, no matter what it is that they feel like they need to do to be true to themselves. And hopefully that they can also support me, regardless of what it is that I feel like I need or want to feel true to myself. Okay, that's all I've got for you today. If you like it, shoot me a like or a subscribe or an email, wendy@wendygarrido.com, or a comment. I would love to keep the conversation going. Okay, take care. Big hugs. Bye-bye.